Hey guys, we're doing some mobility in addition to the regular missing link. We're going to hit two areas that almost everybody in the gym usually needs, and probably even more so now that we're quarantined. So the first area we're going to hit is the calves, so working some dorsiflexion. So an easy way to kind of decrease the tone and increase neurological input to the lower body is just to roll the bottom of your plantar fascia, okay? So we're just kind of following that line and we're working in there. Should be pretty uncomfortable. Spend about 2 minutes on each foot there, okay? So this is what it looks like from inside. And you can do it sitting down if that's too painful. Next, we're gonna foam roll our calves. So mine are pretty sensitive, so I'll show you the easy way to do it, and that's to put both legs on. So we can kind of think of our legs in 3 different spots. We're going to think outside, middle, inside. So roll your toes to the outside, and we can roll both legs at the same time. Least pressure will be keeping your butt down on the ground. More pressure will be propping yourself up, and even more pressure will be crossing your leg. And I can't do that because mine are too sensitive. So we're gonna roll 20 times outside, middle, and then inside. Toes pointing in. And when you find a really nasty spot, you can just sit there, let it sink in for a little bit. You can do some active motion, some plantar dorsiflexion. Just try to work it out. Add some overpressure to really get in there, okay? And then third, we're gonna work just a static stretch. You can use a thick book. The side, if you have a squat rack, the bottoms of the squat racks work great for this. Pop your foot up, make sure that where your big toe kind of meets your foot is at least up on to whatever you're using to stretch. And if you're already getting a stretch there, just hold it for 1 minute to 2 minutes. If you don't feel much, you can step across forward, and if you have been told you got a flat foot, step across and over, and it will kind of wind that arch up so that we're not kind of stretching through spots we don't want to stretch, okay? And to get soleus, which is a different muscle that doesn't cross our knee, we just bend the knee and we can get the same stretch. Okay, so that's it for the calf. Next, we're going to work on the thoracic spine. Super important to have good thoracic extension rotation, especially if we're playing sports and lifting overhead, okay? So when we do this, we want to protect our neck, not crank on our neck. So our hands are just gently resting behind our neck. We're going to prop up a bridge, and we're going to roll up and down only where our ribs cover, not above the shoulder blades, not below the bottom of the ribs, okay? I like to do 10 to 15 rolls there. From there, we can work some segmental extension. So I'm gonna push my lower back into the ground, and I'm gonna arch over. And it shouldn't be something that you're forcing, just nice and gentle. And you can kind of get different little segments there. Try not to move through your neck or low back. Okay. From there, we're gonna stretch our chest out. Our big pec muscles can restrict our motion there as they attach to 8 ribs. So we're gonna just come here, laying on the foam roller, and we're gonna let our arms hang out to the side so that they're resting on the ground. Some of you are gonna be so tight that you look like this. This is not an ideal position to stretch. We want to relax. So if this is you, I want you to extend your arms to a point where you can rest something on the ground and still get a stretch and try to relax into it. And if you can go all the way up, no problem, keeping the ribs down, you probably don't need to do this. Okay, last part, it's called a side prop, and we're gonna do a side prop plus rotation too. So we're gonna stack our knees up, hips above 90, so knees above our hip crease, just like in a squat. Our elbow's gonna go outside of our shoulder. From here, we're gonna take this and we're gonna sink it down towards the ground. So I'm not super tight here, but some of you will not be able to move much. And what you wanna do is you wanna sink into that pressure and take some deep breaths. Do 10 to 15 deep breaths each side. From here, what we can do is we can take our top leg back, prop up, and we're gonna thread the needle. And up. Thread the needle. And up. And we're gonna do that on both sides. 10 to 15 times as well. So that's it for mobility. Check in for the missing link workout.